Hey guys, I'm making this video to address some more of the lies that Corrine has spread uh, about me. And so we're going to go through some of those. And the screen is small today because some of the things that are here aren't as relevant. They may become relevant later, not sure. The main thing is that I haven't gotten any apologies from Corinne about the lies that they spread about me online. In Sis, Is This Your Man? AZ edition. And then there were more lies that Corinne kept posting. Here's the Fire Mecca account. Um, Posting here that Corinne controls. Um, Here's Corinne on YouTube posting more lies. And so we're going to address those here. Here's Corinne on Facebook. Corinne, the Broken Stare. Um, and check out the other videos, why this is relevant, the entertaining uh, threats and violence, and telling me that I need to stay away because Corinne has friends that open carry guns. And um, so we're going to address more lies that have not yet been addressed on this channel. So um, I'm going to start with just this and what the problem is with the lies. Um, so Corinne had um, apparently, and there's watch the other videos because they more cover this part where Corinne had stirred up a bunch of people into essentially a frenzy, thinking that Corinne was under some kind of threat from me, that their life was like in danger somehow. And I'm going to show that video where not only because like they wrote on Facebook that their life was in danger because of me, and then they're gonna say on their Twitch stream very similar stuff. Um, and then what happens is people that believe Corinne come around and are saying, "Hey, do you need a place to stay? Because this guy is being so dangerous, and do you need a new car because like what if this guy knows what car you drive." um and then lastly, one of their friends from Facebook, and they came from, I covered this in, I think, the last or two videos ago. um One of their friends from Facebook goes on the Twitch stream and talks about um that you know I need to go away because they, open carry guns. And Corinne is reading this message. I'm going to hit play on this. Corinne's reading the message right here. And then the first thing they say is, "That's what I'm saying," which is, so here's one of the lies. Um, Corinne addresses that on Facebook or on YouTube right here. Um, by saying, "You damn me," right in the middle of the screen. "You damn me for something in the chat. That is false. Your friend said this guy better stay away or go away." That's what trend away means. Um, because your friends, you have people that care about you with guns. it's not that someone else said that, it's that you read that, and then the first thing you said is, that's what I'm saying. I can't make this up. When you read a chat, when you read something and say, yeah, that's what I'm saying, you're saying that not only do you agree, but you like you're echoing that. You're saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is so let's watch that now. This is Corrine. I can't hear the audio. Something happened with my audio, so I'm just gonna play up to where I think this stops. Corinne's reading the message and then is gonna say, that's what I'm saying. The message is he ought to know that even if not you, someone with you, near you, concerned about you does carry a gun. So the weird, meaning me, the weirdo, because they call me the creepy weirdo throughout this video, and at the beginning of the video references all the Facebook. Um, so the weirdo needs to trend the other way fast, and that means go away, stay away. Corinne's even suggested here, or in this one, that I just avoid anyone from Arizona because of the guns. So let's hear what Corinne has to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. The weird needs to trend away really quickly because I have a lot of friends that love me and they're not happy right now. And I have a lot of people checking in and like asking if I'm staying, like where I'm staying, where I'm going to go hide. I had somebody offer to buy me a car so that I'm not seen in mine because it's so noticeable. Like his post has my friends super freaked out. I'm trying to keep calm about it, but it's not easy to keep calm about something like that. Um, when your friends are worried. So
Okay, I think that's that. So that is the effect of spreading lies. Now, I've covered many of the other lies in the other videos, which will be linked. So what are some of the lies I haven't covered yet? We're going to do those now. And um, since I can't hear the audio, I can just play some of this. I believe this is the one where Corinne basically says in a paraphrase that I can do because I can't hear this. Essentially, it says that me, whether she calls me the creepy guy or the weird guy, uh, that and watch the whole video. It's linked below. Um, that I was like incessantly contacting them, incessantly like um, like bothering them, incessantly taking up all their time somehow, which is all false. So among the like dozen other lies that I've already debunked, we're going to talk about that one today. Um, this idea that I was somehow bothersome. Corinne even wrote on Facebook that I moved to Arizona to find them specifically, which is completely insane. And I'm going to show that that is also false. Um, so let's go over it. Here's Corinne talking about this idea on Twitch, and then they talk about it a bunch of other places before the Twitch stream even went up.
and then later, yeah, the post about frenemies, Maslow. I had a super fucking weird guy like occupy all my time for like 4 months, and when I was like, "Hey, this is getting weird. Maybe we shouldn't be friends," then he got even weirder. Sorry. And then he is the frenemy that I sent you a link to his public post, where he names me and posts a picture of my public profile publicly. So it is in Retaliation to me posting just his photo, no name. Do you have like a scotch tape?
I don't know how long this one is because again, I can't hear the audio, but probably get the gist of it. Um, and I think in this one, you heard something along the lines of, um, they said something like, I, ex- Corinne saying something like, I expressed to Dan that they didn't want to be friends. And that, like, 4 months ago or something before this, that they, were trying to set some kind of boundaries with me and kind of stuff like that, that they had signaled to me somehow that they didn't want to be friends and something like that. Completely false. And so we're going to go through that today. So that's where they said this. Um, this is the original post that I never got an apology for. Um, this guy took up a lot of my oxygen and energy and felt like he was pursuing me. Um, so this is again this idea that I was like overwhelming them with messages. It's the metaphor for like I was asking for all sorts of like emotional labor, something like that, which people can do, and I'm going to show you today that that is not true. Um, they also say I invited him to hike with me while house sitting in Flagstaff, which is also, a twist on the truth. That wasn't true. It was invited to an overnight stay. And they had, and I already covered this in another video. So, um, so yeah, this is the main thing for this particular video. Definitely watch the other ones. Um, this guy took up a lot of my oxygen and energy and felt like he was pursuing me. Um, again, once arriving here in Arizona, he latched on to my reputation and started telling people how close we were. Um, and you're going to see that we were close. Um, he's, he, I would reiterate, he spent a a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time. I had to remind him of my boundaries constantly. Um, and that's what I'm going to show is not true. Um, initi- Corrine initiated contact with me. What you're going to notice is a pattern of the things that Corrine says, just make them the opposite, and that's how you know what actually happened. So Corrine actually initiated contact with me. So that's what we're going to show today. Um, this one is more just a lie in a couple sentences. I did make a public apology, Corrine writes, and then says, I retract nothing. So do you apologize or do you retract absolutely nothing? Because those two things, like Corinne doesn't even understand that to make an apology is to like say you're sorry for what you have stated, not that I retract nothing. Um, and this apology was saying sorry. It was one of these like blanket apologies that you tell, 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds are not real apologies. They're just, I already covered that in another video. Um, this is the same one. I reiterate, he spent a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time. I had to remind him of my boundaries constantly. Um, which is false. Um, last one here. This is the I he put my life at risk. Just crazy. Um, Corinne says, I welcome anyone to question my character and dig into who I am. An open book. Okay, let's do that. Uh, Corinne writes on my Facebook page, um, I suggest you take this down. That was my written defense of all of the lies in the Sis Is This Your Man group. Corinne wanted me to take that down. And um, because Corinne said, take that down because people have contacted me about your various restraining orders, which do not exist. And Corinne has had multiple times to show that those exist. And um, one of my friends reached out to Corinne to say, hey, this is concerning. Can you share the restraining orders? And Corinne said to kindly fuck off. I owe no one any evidence, and these don't exist. Um, and um, I welcome anyone to question my character. Uh, we're gonna cover this today. I'm um, Corinne says writes publicly on Facebook how much he ranted about a woman named Jordan. There's like one sentence in our text message where I talked about an ex of mine who like gave false accusations that I went through their phone, which um so I that's an ex of mine that has nothing to do with this. And like one sentence, according to Corinne's lie, one sentence is ranting how much I ranted about someone, mentioning an ex one time, and Corinne mentioned a lot of their exes to me. But like Corinne writes, this post comes down or I post a link in the group. Well, the group already found my public page, and I already showed that in the other video. Um, and I don't care because this is this is a kind of game theory thing. You take this down, or I'm going to show everybody. And it's like, good, because Corinne shared a bunch of lies, and I think the more people that see Corinne's lies, the better. So I welcome anyone to dig in and all this stuff about he was, taking up all my time and initiating all this contact with me. So um, what we're going to do is this is um, this is Facebook messages and um, the I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm just going to show you some things here that debunk all of that stuff. And this uh, might be video one of three because we've got the Facebook messages, we've got Instagram messages, and we've got regular text messages and emails. So, what does Corinne say? I took up a lot of their time and initiated all this contact. Well, um, the real story is I had been telling people from Detroit that I had planned on moving and I was likely moving to Arizona for about a year before I actually moved. And I was telling friends and acquaintances, yeah, this was my plan. And um, one of the people that has been named um, and has to do with Burners Without Borders in Detroit, um, is the one who told me, hey, if and when you move to Arizona, a really good person I know there is Corrine. You should be friends with them and look them up. So I sent a friend request to Corrine almost a year before I moved. And that was because of something that I think is pretty normal. Hey, you're going to move to a new place. You're not going to know anybody, but I know someone there and you're a good person. So I would like to do a digital introduction, if you will. If you want to do Burners Without Borders in Arizona, look up Corinne. And I know Corinne, you might want to like be in contact with Corinne. So I sent Corinne a friend request. This was months before I moved. Corinne made the first contact, unless you want to consider the friend request contact, but I didn't. So we had the friend request. Corinne accepted the friend request because of all of our mutual friends, including the friend that told me, hey, I'm good friends with Corinne. Like, you're moving somewhere where you don't know anybody. This is a good person you should know. So Corinne says, and it sends me the first message. Okay, so I didn't initiate the first contact. Um, Corinne says you seem like an interesting person. So, and just saying, I just want to see if you're an actual person, um, because there's bots and stuff. I want to see you're an actual person. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm an actual person. Um, blah blah blah. And so this is the first contact. I didn't initiate contact. Corinne asked me, "How do you know this person, the mutual friend?" And then I say, "Oh, you know, um, that they're the one that told me to this person from Burners Without Borders in Detroit. I did a lot with them. They're the person that said, hey, um, you should, you might want to know Corinne if you're moving to Arizona." They say, "How did you meet so and so?" Because they can see mutual friends on Facebook. You've been at, uh, oh, they're at this. She's an amazing person, and I agree. Yeah, I said, yeah, they're the person who told me to send you a friend request. I didn't like look up Corinne just randomly or something, weird like that, where they said I covered in the other video where Corinne actually says, I moved to Arizona to find them. Um, that is not true. So we actually, months before I moved, we chatted on Facebook a bit. Corinne was trying to get to know like a little bit of my story. What part of town do you think you're moving to? And we um, we talked about fire spinning, basically a little Burners Without Borders. Asked me why I'm moving. I moved for the good weather. Um, Corinne saying, "Oh, I'd like to move out of here. That we should trade spots." And I said how I found the Papago Jam. Um, and I just want to point out something, um, that so this idea that I took up all this oxygen, I initiated all this contact. That is the point of this. Um, I'm going to point out all the reacts. So Corinne does an emoji react here. I do like, I don't want people to get any sort of like wrong idea that I'm trying to be more than friends or anything like that. Um, and just keep things very, uh, I don't know, platonic. Corinne emoji reacts. This is before we ever met in person. Corinne emoji reacts to me here. Uh, Here's a, oh, you can't see my mouse. Anyways, right here, there's a heart react, heart react, heart react, heart react, um, heart react, emoji react. So we had this conversation and then it ended. And then the next message on a completely different day. Um, I know I put when I actually moved. Oh, this is when I said, uh, hey, I actually, finally moved. Maybe I'll see you at a spin jam or something like that. Um, Uh, Here's Corinne initiating contact at the end of this conversation about going to a flow thing. So here's initiate conversation. Corinne sending me messages. Um, Covered this one in the last video. Smiley face, thank you. On a completely different day, um, no message from me. Here's Corinne writing a message here where the green check mark is initiating contact. Smiley face, a smiley face, smiley face from Corinne, smiley face from Corinne. Um, Corinne saying, you do good things. Um, Smiley face. Corinne doing a heart react. Corinne doing a heart react. I'm not reacting to anything with these hearts. This Corinne saying, you do good things, keep that up. Three heart reacts, another one, heart react, smiley face from Corinne, heart react from Corinne, heart react from Corinne. These are not um, like flirty messages. They're from me. They're just talking platonically, sharing information. Here I'm saying, oh wow, I actually bought a rope dart from Fire Mecca before I really like knew what Fire Mecca was. Like when I was pretty early in my fire spinning journey, I was like, I'm pretty sure I bought a rope dart from Fire Mecca like years ago, and we had chatted about that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look that up because like my memory is telling me I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I did buy rope dart from Fire Mecca. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Um, and I'm just saying, yeah, it's holding up great. I bought this and Corinne's heart react, um, Corinne smiley face, um, heart react, heart react. Um, this was the end of a conversation, a totally different day. Corinne sends me this, um, initiating conversation. Uh, we had a phone call. Um, Emoji react from Corinne. This is Corinne inviting me to dinner at their place, like a group dinner. Um, you know, here on this on this is all this is the entire Facebook conversation we ever had. You know, here Corinne, you know, I said, yeah, just send the details of the dinner, like what time, where do I go? Corinne sends the details with a smiley face, and I just say thumbs up, which is me making sure the person knows I got the message. And then instead of just leaving it at that, Corinne writes smiley face, looking forward to spending quality time with you, which is like, which is fine. But what I'm addressing is this idea that, going back to here, this guy took up a lot of my oxygen and energy. Like Corinne invited me to a dinner thing. I didn't like ask if there were dinner parties. I didn't say, "Oh, I want to come to the dinner party that I heard about." They invited me. Um, Corinne writes, felt like he was pursuing me. Felt like he was pursuing me. This is our actual messages. Corinne's doing all these heart reacts, all these smiley faces, looking forward to spending quality time with you. I'm not sending anything like that. I'm just keeping things very dry, very platonic. I get a message, thumbs up back. There's no, where's the felt like he was pursuing me? Okay. Here's an initiating contact. So we had this conversation, end of conversation. Corinne initiates contact by sending, some funny TikTok thing. Um, that was at 2 a.m. The next day at 10, I didn't even respond to that. The next day uh, at 10 or 10:53 a.m. Corrine initiates contact. Thank you for coming over last night, smiley face. I said, for sure. You're doing good things by like having get-togethers, which I believe is a good thing. Corinne heart reacts. Um, I said, you know, I don't love like silence. I guess you could say I'm a person that's like a little bit with the uncomfortable at awkward silence. So sometimes I feel like I can talk too much. Not that like strange of a thing, right? And I, open up a little bit here. I'm like, sometimes I worry, I wonder if I talk too much, but I like to keep literally right. But I like to make conversation. I like to make good conversation at a dinner party. Corinne says, I don't think you talk too much. Um, I just say, okay. Um, you contribute to the conversation quite well. Um, I write, it's getting late. I get a heart react, heart react, heart react. Um, you know, here's one. Here's one where I react. I do a thumbs up react to something Corinne says in this conversation. Um, da 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 da. Heart react. Um, This might be the title of this video. I explained to Corinne because they're talking about a little history of the flow art groups in this conversation, and I have told other people this. Haven't heard this analogy. There's the analogy of the broken stair in a community, which is a broken stair is a not good person for whatever reason who exists in a community. And I won't go through the whole analogy, but essentially, it is good practice for other people in the community to warn new people, hey, I know you're new here. Just so you know, so and so is around and they're not a safe person. Um, so you want to skip that stair when you're walking on the stairs. Like I wouldn't get close to them. They have a history of not being good. Corinne says, I like the analogy of warning someone against a broken stair. Okay. Me too. Um, we have this conversation that ends here, and where the third or second check mark is. Corinne initiates contact here. Um, I replied, ha ha ha. Corinne writes, good morning, smiley face. Um, heart react to me. I'm not reacting. Corinne sends a heart react. Um, and I just, try to end the conversation. laugh react. Corinne sends me a laugh react. Here's one place where I did initiate conversation. We started to share like funny memes to each other. I send one, I get a funny react, um, and then Corinne asked me what I'm doing that day. Um, Corinne asked me, like they're saying you know, they're saying this guy took up a lot of my oxygen and energy and felt like he was um, pursuing me. Well, what about this? Um, Corinne's asking me, what are you doing today? After saying, back up here, good morning, smiley face, heart reacts. Um, I said, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Um, wasn't asking them, I wasn't pursuing them, trying to like know all this stuff and ask them on a regular basis, what are you doing today? Good morning. So I said what I was doing. I get a heart react, emoji react, emoji react. Um, actually one. Oh, those are okay. Yeah, the clip. Okay, heart react and two emoji reacts. Um, and then that was what time was that? 9 a.m. Okay, just continuing the same conversation, and then 8 hours go by. Corinne sends me this, initiating conversation. I just say, "Oh, nice," smiley face. This conversation. Here's one place where I initiate contact. I send a funny meme. Um, they say, "Well, that's funny." Basically, Corinne sends me a picture of their hair dye and haircut. I'm not asking for pictures. Never once did anything of the sort. Um, Something maybe I would do like in a romantic pursuit. I never asked for this picture. Corinne just sends me, "Hey, um here's my haircut and hair dye I just got." I didn't ask for this. I didn't even comment on it. If there was a woman that like I was interested in and like I wanted them to know, and they sent me a picture that they just got their hair done and they just dyed their hair or something, like, I would say something. I mean, they're basically asking for, hey, give me a compliment, right? I didn't even, I didn't react to it. I didn't even mention it. I just moved on. I just said, I'm probably going to do something like outside today while the sun's still up, kind of thing. Because, yeah, this was the middle of January. The sun goes down early, whatever. Um, Sends a smiley face. Corinne says, you should come bug me. LOL. You should come bug me. Because they're asking, what are you doing today? I said, I don't know. I'm just waking up. And it doesn't say what day of the week this was. This was probably a Saturday or a Sunday, probably a Saturday. And like, go outside, smiley face. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Corinne says, you should come bug me. We're talking about some stuff. Heart react from Corinne. I'm not doing any reacts. Didn't even comment on sending a picture of their hair. Um, conversation. Uh, Sends me a laughy face. Um, uh, emoji react to me. Emoji react to me. Um, I gave a thumbs up react here. Uh, heart react to me, heart react to me, emoji react to me. Um, this is Corinne. Uh, we were talking about the show Hoarders, and I said I've seen the therapists on the show Hoarders, and I like their approach, like how they don't just talk about like the hoarding, they try to get to the root cause. If you've ever seen that show, it's like good because usually people their hoarding problem decreases when they get to the root cause. Like, I don't know, watch the show. And Corinne says, "Tell me more." Instead of just saying, "I like the therapists on Hoarders because I like their approach." This idea that um, I'm pursuing them, taking a lot of their oxygen and energy. Um, this idea that I'm constantly initiating contact and somehow being overwhelming. That like Corinne's asking me, say, "Tell me more." So I did. Explain why I like the therapist on Hoarders. I get a heart react, an emoji react, um, emoji react, thumbs up react from Corinne. I didn't do any of these reacts in this whole conversation. Heart react. And like they're heart reacting and commenting back. I mean, most of the time, especially like platonically, I'm only thumbs up reacting to let the person know, like, I got your message, because it's like the end of the conversation. If I'm just going to reply, like, they also know I got the message. So, like, why are they're not only replying, but they're also reacting to everything I'm saying with all these hearts and emojis and stuff. I'm not doing any of that in return. Um, like someone who's not doing any of that, and then they're saying, felt like he was pursuing me. It's just false. Um, that's why I'm showing this. Uh, Corinne shares the text message screenshot from somebody else. I mean, take that for what you will. I mean, getting the sense over this time, you're going to see as this goes along, like Corinne shows that they trust me. Um, they're asking my opinion on something. I said, gave my opinion. They thumbs up react. Um, conversation. I did put some laughing emojis at like a sarcastic joke I made. They do a laughing react or laughing emoji. Uh, Smiley face emoji. They laugh react to me. So, I mean, part of this is like when Corinne writes here that started telling people how close we were. If you can see this, um, this is on the um, this is on YouTube. Corinne writes how I started telling people how close we were. I mean, these were pretty close conversations over time. I mean, they don't just straight start out that way, but I mean, um, did send some funny gifts and stuff. Um, but I'm not reacting to all these messages. So this um, this conversation ends, um, and then this green check mark is a initiating conversation. Corinne writes, "How's it going?" Now, as I have told people, and covered in this other videos. I mean, there's a lot of texting for me. Um, I will give Corinne credit that Corinne's a pretty good texter. Like I would say probably never had what I would consider like a miscommunication. I I don't like to text a lot. I like phone calls better, usually because I have some experience getting miscommunications on text. Like, oh, like there was a misinterpretation, or you have a different sense of humor, and that's usually the worst because but like even the fact that there was this much texting, I'm trying to recall, we almost, I think we never had a time where we were like, I don't know what you mean by that, or someone replies and they obviously were like, oh, you didn't, they didn't, they completely misinterpreted what the text. Like, we never had that kind of thing happen. And as that, like, this is part of where I was like, this is a pretty good friendship. This is a pretty good relationship. Like, it was nice to be able to text with someone where there wasn't this kind of constant fear that they're going to misinterpret something. Like, I felt like we had a pretty similar communication style, on in that regard, that there wasn't like this major miscommunication. Now, I don't do all these heart reacts to people that, like, to me that shows someone I'm like pursuing them, right? Right here, here's a laugh react, which is fine, funny gif or whatever. Here's a joke, there's a laugh react. But here's like a heart react to something I said. Like, I mean, this was just logistics. Um, this was like, um, this was trying to plan another like dinner and game night at Corinne's place, and they, instead of just straight inviting me, they like included me in some of the planning, asking me, should we have eat this or that, um, proposing what time we should do. I'm just saying, let me know the time. I can come earlier. Generally like I'll come earlier if it's helpful for setup. Um, and there's just a logistical comment, and Corinne heart reacts it. Like, I mean, okay. Then that was so then a few hours later, Corinne initiates contact. I'm not initiating contact. Corinne initiates contact, and this is where, like I said, I said, can you call? Because I mean, a lot of times all this texting gets overwhelming for me. It's a lot easier to just do a phone call many, many times. If you've been my friend, you've heard me say that probably. Um, so here's a phone call. Um, at this point, we had already had conversations about like helping stuff with Fire Mecca, and Corinne gave me a Fire Mecca staff because I was like, well, I can like help make videos that, to help you sell your product. So I sent Corinne a video of me with the Fire Mecca staff. I just say, I'm not sure how you can use this, um, but I can send you the original file and you can use it for your sales. I wasn't asking for any compensation. Um, Corinne heart reacts, heart reacts. So this was me initiating contact, but we had talked about, videos. At this point, Corinne had already been to my apartment, and like we talked about, yeah, I'd love to do videos for your small business, and this I sent that. Corinne's like, thank you. Uh, do I have permission to share this on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok? Would you like to be promoted or tagged? And here's where I say, I'm not really here for the promotion. Like, I don't need you to tag me. Like, you can just use it. I'm not really trying to like help you. out to be like popular or something. Like I don't need to be directed back to my Instagram. Like just use the video how you want. I don't need to be tagged and stuff. Um, and yeah, I said that. Corinne heart reacts to all that. But here's happy Monday, smiley face, smiley face. Um, we talked about like what text to put in the video, and I'll just say I'm a satisfied customer. Like, how about that? And Corinne says, I adore that in all capital letters. Um, um, Corinne asks, um, how was the rest of your night? Like, I didn't ask Corinne, like, how was your day going? Good morning. How's your night going? Like this idea that I'm like, pursuing them, taking up all their oxygen and energy and stuff. Here's where Corinne asked me, how's your night? Or how are you feeling? So, like, okay, I'm not asking them this stuff. Um, like, wasn't really the depth of the relationship that I was going for, you know. Um, I kind of I will do that on closer relationships and like more um, romantic pursuit relationships. I'm asking, more emotional, deeper stuff. I'm not asking all this stuff. So in this case, Corinne asked me, how was the rest of your night? Are you feeling better? Um, like if Corinne has this idea that they were doing all this emotional labor because I'm like crossing some boundaries. Like I'm not asking this stuff. So in this case, I answer how my night was and if I was feeling better, and then I say, you question mark? Like, okay, well, you're asking me, so how I say you question mark so they can say how they're doing. Fine. And this relationship is um building slowly, and so they say how they're doing, and that was my night, and today's going good. Um, like, I don't know if they're interpreting me saying, you back as like emotional labor or something. I support them. They were like going through something. I'm just like, hey, chin up, you got this. They heart react to that. I didn't react to anything they said. I didn't heart react. I didn't anything react. Um, Corinne's asking me if they want to plan a board night. So we have some logistics about that. I say, what day I'm good, and they heart react to that. Um, then 2 days go by, and Corinne sends me this. So there's initiating contact. I just, so there's a conversation here. Um, they're saying this was about like it was raining somewhere for this festival, and I'm like, do you have a shade structure? Like, I don't know, like, what they're exactly asking. Just like, wow, it's raining. Do you have a shade structure or like a canopy? Um, like that's actually a good idea. 4 days go by. Um, so like at this point, Corinne gave me a staff to make videos for affiliate links and stuff like that, and was basically like, hey, I appreciate, your feedback on the business and like, you know, hearing kind of ideas for growing the business, which is totally fine. I wasn't an employee. Like, I don't have any grudge about that. Like, um, I've repeated this so many times in other videos. Whatever. I like to support small businesses. I have a job. Um, so this one, so some time went by. Corrine made this video, and I just said, "Hey, here's an idea. Like, do you have like a Fire Mecca banner that you could put in the back of the video? Because this video, like, the title of the video said Fire Mecca, and the um, like it's on the Fire Mecca page, but what I learned about some advertising is like get your name out there more, get your name out there more. So I'm like, you should have like a big banner in the back that says Fire Mecca with the logo. So when people see this video, they really, really associate it with Fire Mecca. And so I was like, hey, if you do this, maybe like get a banner. And they reply and say, good plan. Um, And I just said, yeah, I noticed this, explain like, yeah, get that up there might be, a good idea. Um, Corinne says, I appreciate the feedback. I need someone enthusiastic. Um, I said, it's good. You seem to take business feedback positively. They heart react here. And, Corinne had made it clear at this point that like they appreciated my feedback. Um, and if you've ever like tried to deal with someone where like you have a good relationship, but if notice improvements maybe they could make, especially with business, and they just always go negative. They're like, and always like kind of finding the negative instead of the positive. It, it gets you notice that and then you stop giving feedback. Um, but like you know uh, one of the good things with like working with Corinne was when you they did take feedback on this stuff very well. Like, they're going to make their own decision, but it seemed like at this point they respected my opinion. And this was one example. They're like, I really appreciate the feedback. I need people, around who are enthusiastic. And, um, so there wasn't this like, hey, I don't want your feedback. Like, I don't need your opinion. Nothing like that. Um, I said, I'm very glad to hear the website's been doing better. Talking about uh, fitness stuff, kind of funny conversation. And I end the conversation with a thumbs up, which I've done before. Like, hey, I got your message, end of conversation. And then, I mean, obviously, this is just the Facebook, but at least here's initiate contact. I didn't initiate contact here. Um, this is where I say, yeah, you could make like a Fire Mecha like playbook for like video ideas. Like you could just make like a playbook of like, here's a bunch of ideas for videos. Like that wouldn't be super hard to make. And they're like, oh yes, heart react to that. Um, a whole day goes by, and then Corinne initiates contact here. Heart react from Corinne, not reacting. Talking about business, Canva, video ideas, um, affiliate program. I said something about. I actually messaged some other people from out of state about like the Fire Mecca affiliate program. Corinne sends me a heart. Um, this was messages about the affiliate program. Corinne heart reacts. Uh, this was interesting. Corinne sent me like a longer message and uh, basically said, so I'm just helping in small ways and with the business in no ways like upping any responsibility. Like it's not like the running of the business has anything. I'm not responsible for anything. I said I can do these videos. The affiliate program is cool. Um, we had talked about getting more people on the affiliate program, and I gave the idea that you could make like an affiliate playbook. And Corinne says, I want to clarify what I was looking from you regarding the affiliate program. So this was like a, okay, apparently I wasn't like doing something like correctly, like just making videos for the affiliate program on my own time. I want to um I want to clarify what I was for you, looking for from you regarding the affiliates program. I don't necessarily want you to spend time recruiting so much as developing a teaching method to explain how the affiliate program works and how people can earn the most money from the referrals. Other stuff about um, I have affiliates, but there's kind of like a teaching program. Like they sign up and then it seems like they don't know how to do it. And I remember this, I also tried to make it clear that like I'm not like responsible for like teaching your affiliates. Like that's a little bit much. Um, Corinne says developing a teaching program for the affiliates is something I could do, but I have so many other parts of the business to worry about. I feel like this is something I can delegate to a trusted and focused associate. A video showing others how easy it is to create their affiliate page and completing their profile. I was impressed with your YouTube videos, um, saying, I think you could do something similar, like these teaching videos. Um, and so, like, I didn't really like want to do that. Um, I said one thing at a time. I did say we can teach and motivate some people. I said sometimes I think people just need ideas and motivation. Um, so I didn't say, like, yes, I will do these teaching your affiliate videos. I never said that. But Corinne wanted to clarify what they wanted me to do. Um, I, this is not recorded, so it doesn't matter, but, I know in person, I told Corinne, like, it's not like I just do this for fun. I'm happy to, you know, like I'm doing what I want. If you want me to like make this whole affiliate teaching program with these videos and stuff, I mean that's like quite a level up in um and I knew that that kind of thing would just take time. That's why I said one thing at a time. Um I understand what you're saying. I did say I understand what you're saying. Um but like even the affiliate videos, I mean, I was only making one like every 3 or 4 months. Um, They tell me that they're sick. Um, Smiley face, thanks. Smiley face. That was. Here they asked me for my feedback. Um, Let me know what you think. They asked me about their feed. They made some changes to the website. Asked me for my feedback. I give it. Um, Here we're talking about the website. Um, talk about the website. Here's another. I give a thumbs up to say I read your last message. I'm not adding more to the conversation. Then 24 hours later, Corinne sends me this initiating conversation. 2 days after that, Corinne sends me this initiating conversation. This is part of the same thing. Um, Asking me if I'm going to the Flow Jam. I said yes. I said there's a logistics um, message. Yes, I'm going, and this is when I'm going. And Corinne heart reacts. I asked them if they're going and how they're doing. So this is, yeah, one of the few places where I'm like, how are you today? But they had told me how they had been sick and whatever. So I sent funny thing and heart react from Corinne. Um, um, so that was on this day. Conversation ends. That must have been a Sunday. The very next day, um, Corinne sends a message initiating conversation. Oh, but I thought this guy made it seem like he was pursuing me and spent a lot of time initiating conversations, and that you told him, yeah, he spent a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time. Unfortunately, that is not true. um, it's all part of the same conversation. Here we talk about affiliate stuff, heart react, affiliate stuff, heart react. I'm not reacting to anything, not doing heart react, smiley face reacts. Um, we're talking about affiliate conversation. Now, here's where I said, look, um, they're saying my affiliate page looks really good. Um, it's good though. Um, I said, I'm just a hobbyist, having fun and saying yes to cool things. I'm not like even super talented, which I talked about in another video. Like, I know I'm not the best at this fire spinning stuff. Like, I might be slightly above average. I don't know. I mean, as long as I'm having fun, that's what matters. Um, there are tons of people that are way better at this hobby than me. And I'm not trying to be a performer. I'm not doing this for the money. And here's where I say, I'm just a hobbyist. I'm just having fun. I'm just, I moved here. I'm just trying to say yes to cool things. Um, uh, it's not like I'm super talented. LMAO. Uh, Corinne says yet, saying like you're not super talented yet, but you are talented! Exclamation point. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna say this one. Maybe later, maybe another time. Um, this was so we had this conversation, which is all connected, and then Corinne told me some stuff that they did that day, and I just reply with, "Oh, I see." Um, and then Corinne asked me, "How was your day?" Like this idea that I was taking up all their energy. Like they're asking me, "How are you? How was your day?" I mean, I didn't even give a long answer. I just said it was pretty chill. I said, "Can you talk on the phone?" Cool, if not, it's just easier for me. And they say rain check for tomorrow. I say no big deal. And then since they couldn't talk on the phone, which was my preferred message, as I said right here, their preferred way to talk, I was like, well, I'm not trying to be obtrusive or not obtrusive, not trying to be dodgy. So since they asked me how my day was, I wrote here, yeah, this was a couple things about, um, oh, here's where they said, how was my day? And I actually said, I went on a date kind of thing. And I said, yeah, this is how it went. Um, and I even said, I'd like your opinion. Like, um, because I told them, yeah, I went on this date and I got a really negative reaction, like from the date, like what they said to me, and w- our relationship, my relationship with Corinne was like pretty close at this point, and I said I wouldn't mind your feedback, um, if you want to give it. I'm not like you have to give me feedback, right? Like, um, so I mean, this also just shows like and I've said this in other videos, like Corinne and I, like we were not trying to date, and I told this to other people, like there was nothing like that. We talked about other people we dated. I mean, Corinne talked about this up here, but I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not important to this. Like, I don't need to share what Corinne said about their dating life, but point is, we talked about other people we were dating. Um, I said this is how the date went, and I get heart react, um, heart react. And now this was on this day. The next day, 12 hours later, I didn't initiate contact. Corinne writes, "Good morning. Go crush the day." Smiley face. Initiates contact with me right here. I didn't initiate contact. I mean, oh, this was interesting too because I was getting a passport, and we had talked about that because I guess you can like get last minute passports if your passport is expired by like doing this thing where you like if you order a plane ticket within like an international plane ticket, you have like 2 weeks and you can get like a rush order passport instead of waiting like the normal 6 weeks or something. So me and Corinne had talked about that, and I said, yeah, I'm getting a renewed passport. And they asked, like, where did you go for your passport? And I told them, and like, I mean, just trying to say, like, this was not an adversarial friendship. We helped each other. And I explain here, this is what I did. I did get rush delivery. It was an extra $60. They said it was like 3 weeks if you get rush delivery. I went to the post office. Here's where I went. Like it was really easy. When I told them that, they go heart react, and they do this like extended thank you, like, where you add a bunch of O's or something for expression. Thank you for the information. It's being helpful. I'm not heart reacting to anything. Um, we joke about going to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. kind of, I don't know if I would go, but we joked about it. So that was on this particular day, conversation at 10 a.m. Conversation ends. The next day, here, Corinne sends me a link, like some kind of TikTok GIF thing from Facebook, initiating conversation. I did not initiate here. I just said, "Ha, wow." Like I'm not trying to extend the conversation. Could have just given a thumbs up. Um, oh yeah, I remember what this was about. So initiates conversation. We were talking about furniture. Corinne sends me pictures of the props and then says, "How was your night?" Like asking about how I am, how my night is, whatever. I mean, honestly, here it just says boring. I'm working and it's boring. They heart react to that. Um, I talk about my job and they heart react again. Like I didn't even initiate this conversation. They asked me how my night is, you know. Like I never asked Corinne, "Hey, please ask me all the time how I'm doing and how my night is." But they're going on YouTube saying he spent a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time on the Twitch stream that we went over, you know, saying how they told me that they didn't want to be friends with me and that I was just like ranting to them all the time and overwhelming them. It's all lies. Keep going. Kind of joking around about random stuff. That was on this day. And then 4 days later, no conversation, Corinne sends me this. Another type of funny GIF type of thing. I didn't initiate this. This was 4 days of no talking, unless we can cross-reference it with all the text messages too. But if you're seeing a pattern, it's the same on all those. But that's okay. We can go through everything. Um, Corinne out of the blue initiates conversation. I didn't even reply to this one. I'll, the next day, I sent a logistical question about when going to Flagstaff was. Um, so that was fine. Here I sent like a funny gift thing. And then 5 hours later, Corinne just writes, "How are you doing today?" I just say I'm going to working, probably go to the gym later. Those are good things to do. Smiley face. I say you. I'm not initiating, I'm not the one contacting Corinne and saying, "How are you doing today? Good morning. Um, how is your night going?" Like, I'm not doing all of that. Blah, blah, blah. So this was on this conversation, and then 8 hours later, Corinne writes, "Thank you for being a friend," with a emoji face. Can't tell if I think that's a smiley face. And I just do a thumbs up back. That's it. Corinne writes what they're doing, says how they're feeling, and then says, "How are you?" I wrote, they say, "How are you?" I write how I am, what I did in three sentences or three, yeah, messages, whatever. They heart react. All three of them says, "I'm proud of you every day. Good job. I'm super proud of you." I was going through a hard time right here, and it's not like Corinne, you know, got short with me, like just saying, "Okay, I hear you." Like they respond, you know, um, and the nature of our relationship, so far really like no problems. Um, asking me how I am and whatever. Like you can't be like this, ask people how they are all the time and then be like, this person took up a lot of my oxygen and energy and felt like he was pursuing me. I was going through a hard time and I wrote something about here how like I'm gonna focus on myself, focus on taking care of myself. They heart react. They tell me they're watching this documentary. Tell them like um, at the gym, something about the Super Bowl. I was talking about how Super Bowl ads have changed. Like this isn't like that, like intimate stuff. I give a prediction about how Super Bowl ads in the future will look exactly like TikToks. Like you won't be able to tell the difference. That's really what I think. They heart react to that. They say you're probably right. Um, we talk about fire mechas, TikToks, funny stuff about costumes. So that was all on this day. Talk about, so I don't really do like, when I've done Burning Man stuff, I don't really get into the costume thing. Like, I get why people like it. It's not really my thing. Last message Corinne wrote me was about like costuming. And I didn't reply. The next, well, actually, I don't, this doesn't have the time, but I sent a meme back that it says it seems excessive, like because I had already given my opinion. I don't really do that costume stuff, but they laugh, react to that, which I think we had a similar sense of humor. Like they understood, yeah, just funny, whatever. And then, so that was like the end of that conversation about the costumes. The next day, uh, actually 2 days after that, 2 days after that, Corinne sends a message saying how they're feeling and then saying, "What are you up to?" Okay. Initiating contact. Oh, but I thought he spent a lot of his time initiating contact. Really? Not really. Ask me what I'm doing, what I'm up to. Starting with, here's how I'm feeling, what are you up to? Now, I'm not mad about this. I'm not mad about the nature of our relationship. Like, I told people, like, I thought we had a really good friendship. None of this was problematic. What is problematic is um, Corinne writing stuff like this. Dan crossed a lot of my boundaries. He'll do whatever he can to get into your life. We need to be safe from him. all of his lies and nefarious activity. I didn't have a problem with the nature of our friendship, like not resentful about any of this. What I'm showing is Corrine goes publicly and says, I would reiterate that he spent a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time. He latched on to my reputation and started telling people how close we were, how much he trusted me. This is the problem. This is the lie, making it seem like I'm in some way abusive to Corrine, that I overwhelmed them, that made it feel like I was pursuing them, which you can see from all of this. Corrine initiated most of the contact. Corrine does all these emojis. Corrine does all these heart reacts. Corrine never told me I don't want to be friends, as they said in this Twitch video. These are all lies. Let's keep going. Um, so ask me what I'm up to. I'll try to go a little faster. Corinne sends me a flow video. I said that's awesome. I don't know what this is. Corinne says, I'll bug you on Sunday. About what? Oh, for you to go to the jam. Because I went most Sundays. I couldn't go every Sunday. Do you want to bug me about going, even if I say I'm too tired or too busy? I don't know. This was the Wednesday night group. I've never gone to the Wednesday night group. And Corinne, I'm not mad about this. Corinne was like, you should really come to the Wednesday group. I mean, it's just in the middle of the week. I really couldn't do it. Um, Corinne says, roll out, telling me I mean, this was not a miscommunication. We never had these like, what do you mean by that types of things. They said, roll out. I said, not tonight, but tell them people to come Sunday. Like, I can't come on Wednesdays. Um, they say, I'll bug you Sunday. I said, about what? I said, maybe I can another time. They heart react. I'll bug you Sunday. I say, about what? For you to come to the jam, to the Wednesday jam. This was chat about dating stuff. I told them about a friend of mine in Michigan. I They told me about some tough stuff they were going through, and I'd say very sorry about all that. I'm able to talk about it on the phone. I hear you, that stinks. Um, your feelings are real and valid. Right, stuff like that. I'm available for a phone call if you need to talk on the phone. Um, like there's if there's some idea from these posts that like Corinne was doing all this one-way emotional labor, like it's not true. We I 100% stand by the idea that we supported each other as, I would say, good friends we had when we both went through some difficult times during the time that we were friends. Like it was no in no way whatsoever was this like some one-way thing. And most of our conversations were about our hobbies and business, and occasionally like stuff about life came up. Like this right here is a perfect example where Corinne tells me I'm going through this hard thing. And I'm like, I get that. And I'm so sorry about that. And I'm available to talk on the phone if you need to. I hear you. That stinks. You know, your feelings are real. Um, here's another, like, okay, so we're talking about affiliate business stuff. Look at this. Well, I say, so they're sending me this Google Doc thing that's supposed to do something. And I did some free testing, which I'm not mad about, like, totally fine. And like this idea that I am this boundary crosser with people, I've already given some examples. Here's another example. I told them, okay, your thing you sent me, because they know that I'm like, working tech stuff and I used to build websites and stuff. They said it works. So. I said, do you want feedback? I didn't just come out and be like, hey, here's my unsolicited feedback. Here's my advice you didn't ask for. I said, do you want feedback? And they said, Corinne writes, please. Okay. Like, I could go so far to say that the the business, at the very least, the business part of our relationship at this point, like, I could see somebody just giving unsolicited feedback based on how close we were at this point. But even here, I'm like, I ask, do you want feedback? Because I know that there are times, there's plenty of times where someone does a thing and they do not want feedback. They don't want unsolicited feedback. It's pretty normal. So I say, do you want feedback? And they say, please. So I just said, oh, yeah, you could change a couple things, like, if you're asking for a second opinion kind of thing. And they said, oh, thank you. Yeah, yay, thank you. Thank you for the feed. Those are the things I say, those are the things I noticed. Thank you. Thank you, smiley face. Then I wrote, I heard that tough stuff you were going through from back up here. And you know, it's not like that was out of my mind. I said, just want to support you. Like, things will get better. I know things with that situation could have gone better. You know, um, I don't think you should, like, I know you feel, weird. I know you feel weird right now. Like, I tried to give some, broader picture on things. Be a supportive friend. I hope you feel better soon. We'll talk tomorrow, but you shouldn't have these regrets. They write, thank you, smiley face. I appreciate you. Where's the red flags? They heart react what I wrote. Thank you, I appreciate you. I thumbs up react. That's my pattern, my way of saying I read, I got your message. Don't reply back. Then the next day, close to noon, no more conversation. Next day, most close to noon, Corinne initiates contact and sends me some kind of funny Facebook reel thing. I reply 6 minutes later, 15 minutes later with another funny thing from Facebook. And I know Corinne loves dogs, so this one was about dogs. I think this one here was about dogs too. Um, and they laugh, react. I'm not reacting. I don't react to this. They, say something about the thing, little some jokes here, laugh, react, um, fine conversation, nothing, no issue. Then 12 hours later, the conversation is over. 12 hours later, Corinne sends me this Facebook reel. I didn't even reply. Then sends this Facebook reel. No reply. No reacts from me. The next day, Corinne sends another Facebook reel. No react or reply. On this one, I wrote true, like funny, haha. That's how people are. Funny, funny. I just wrote true. The following day, Corinne sends another like funny cat video. I didn't reply. The same day, Corinne writes and sends another funny Facebook reel. I didn't even react or reply. A few hours later, I did write in response to that. I wrote, oh, that's sad. Then I sent a funny thing. Corinne laugh reacts. Um, I said, this has me reeling. This has me laughing. Um, stuff about work. I was supposed to go to this thing, and then basically time got away from me. And I'm like, my thing took way longer than I thought, so I can't come to the thing. But I think I'm just going to go to sleep. And they heart react to that. The next day, the day after this conversation, Corinne sends me this kind of meme about being neurodivergent, um, initiating contact. I didn't initiate contact. Um, about less than an hour later, I reply to that, and then we have this conversation about religion. I'm not reacting to Corinne's stuff, but Corinne, here's a laugh react, heart react, laugh react, um, smiley face, talking about neurodivergence and religion, making jokes about religion, laugh reacts from Corinne, talking about uh, how religion can be funny, heart react from Corinne, heart react, laugh react, laugh react, heart react, and then just looking at the date. This conversation ends, and then 4 days later, I end the conversation with a thumbs up, like not trying to continue the conversation. Corinne writes, I'm going to sleep, but this has been an enlightening conversation. Heart, heart, heart. I just say thumbs up back. Like, I'm not saying, oh, heart's back and stuff. But what does Corinne say to 60,000 people? Felt like he was pursuing me. False. 4 days later, Corinne sends me a funny Facebook attachment thing. Um, I said, that's funny, LOL. Um, here's one where I initiate. 4 days after that, I sent a funny picture. I sent a meme. Corinne laugh reacts. This one was actually pretty good. This is hilarious. I sent this to a bunch of people. Um, this is business stuff. Business stuff. Um, this is when Corinne went to Flagstaff, which I'm going to cover that stuff in a moment here. That's coming up. Business stuff. This is one of the photo shoots and video shoots I did for Fire Mecca and their They're going through it. We're talking about cameras and how to use it. They say, Heart, have a good day at work. Um, this was actually asking permission. Can I use your likeness on our Amazon page? Can I use this video? I said, sure. I didn't ask for money for any of this. They said, sure, yeah, use my likeness. And then they said, hey, it's up. Hey, it's congrats. Right down here. Congrats. It's up on Amazon. Your video is up. Heart, have a good day at work. You're up on Amazon. Then Corrine sends me a thing for like a women's costume that they say we should make videos. Oh, for Fire Mecca, we should make videos like this. Um, Initiating contact. I didn't ask for this. Um, and says, "How was your day?" I must have been busy. Um, must have been busy because I didn't reply till the next day. I said, "Oh, that's a funny costume. I'm having a great day. I'm doing a networking event. Um, something about engineering, heart react, laugh react." At this point, we're going back and forth. So I say, "You question mark?" Like, you ask me how my day is. How's your day? Talk about uh, some business stuff, fire staffs. Then they say they're feeling sick and, you know, like, they're telling me that how they're feeling and that, they're sick and stuff. I'm not going to go into all of that, but, you know, at this point, they can tell that like, I'm a pretty supportive friend. Like, we've supported each other at this point through times when we're not feeling good, multiple times. So Corinne feels comfortable telling me, like, I'm not feeling well and stuff. Okay. And they know that I'm not just gonna ignore them or say, get over it or something. Oh, that, like, this isn't this isn't evidence of someone who's taking up all their energy and it's just this one-sided relationship or something. Telling me out they're not feeling good. I, you know, I'm listening. Uh, Say they're happy for me here because I got to spend some fire. Happy for you that you got to do that. Um, Here's where they invite me to the Conclave Discord server where they write here that um, I never did anything. The dance troupe I managed was meeting up. He's saying he wanted to be a part of it, but never seemed to actually get involved. Now, this is like the thing where I was doing these affiliate, things, and like I covered earlier, Corinne was like, "Well, I want to be clear with you. This is what I actually want you to do." Like, apparently, I wasn't doing what they wanted, and I can't read their mind. Maybe this was something similar. Like, I wanted to be a part of the dance troupe, and this is where they're like, he never seemed to get involved. Like, there wasn't instructions like how do you get involved, but this is where they invite me to the dance troupe. This might be the one thing I heart reacted. I was like, okay, great, yeah, I want to be in the fire conclave. Um, Talking about Flagstaff. Here, I talk about a date that I went on, and they were kind of supportive. How did your date go? Talk about some of that stuff. Like, obviously, still, like, at this point, this felt like me was he was pursuing me. Like, I guess maybe it needs to be said, like, to some people, like, I'm monogamous. It's not like I, anybody who's known me knows that. That's not some secret. Okay. Like, this idea that he felt like he was pursuing me. Like, before this was ever posted on Sis, Is This Your Man? I mean, right here, I write, I'm talking about a date that I went in on. And Corinne asked me, how did my date go? And we talk about that a little bit. And they were, didn't go good because it doesn't matter why, but it's kind of, it was awkward. Um, they heart react this thing about the date that I told them. Uh, Still talking about the date. They asked me, like, what are your values in dating? I list them. Those are good values to have. They tell me they were divorced twice. Um, who knows if that's even true? Uh, here they check back in with me, like, how are you feeling since, your date didn't go good? I actually, like, I'm sadder than I thought I would be. They're like, oh, that's so sorry, but, it's understandable. Like, this is not some adversarial relationship where they're saying we can't be friends, like they say here in this video, and like that they told me we can't be friends. They never said anywhere here, Dan, this isn't really like the depth of a, friendship that I want. Like, this crosses my boundaries or some bullshit. Like, nothing like that. I'm sorry, sad face. That's too bad. Um, I said I'm gonna cry about it, then move on. They said, yeah, crying can help. Um, Still talking about some of the date stuff. Um, then here's some stuff about health. Here's another thumbs up, like, done with the conversation, not trying to keep the conversation going. I give a thumbs up. Um, I was like, I need you to come on my dates. Like, actually, I had a friend say this once, like, Dan, I want to go on one of your dates so I can see how you're screwing it up so bad. Whatever. So that's just funny. Yeah, you should come on one of my dates to see how I'm screwing it up, and Corinne's like, haha, that's really funny. Um, blah, blah, blah. Talking about the economy, meta stuff. Here's a spot where Corinne talks about who they want to date. This is days before I came to Flagstaff, where they said, and they didn't want me to get the wrong idea here, um, like there was no wrong idea. I mean, right here, Corinne's talking about who they want to date right here in the conversation. I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. Oh yeah, that's good for you. Yeah, you should date that person. Um, like, um, normal friends just stop talking about the medicine industry, books that we read. Talked about this, how I don't like needles. So, like, the Burners Without Borders in Arizona is all about blood drives, and I hate needles. Like, I'm not making that up. It's right here in the text message. Tell Corinne, like, if I hadn't already told them, how do you do needles? I hate them. Just like, I've said this in other videos, and Like I'm not making this stuff up. Talking about society. So this conversation, okay, so this conversation ended on this day. 2 days later, I send a funny meme about a cat. 2 days after that, Corinne initiates. So you could say, yeah, I initiated contact here, but like so far, if you've been counting, like it's heavily on Corinne's side. So I sent a funny thing about a cat. Um, Corinne initiates contact with me here 2 days after this. Says, "Can I share something?" I'm not don't need to talk about this, but they were going through something difficult. Says, asks, "Can I share something?" Like this is a person who so far completely up to this is getting near the end of when we stop talking. And when Corinne says on Twitch and in other places where I threw all these red flags, I knew this guy for months and it was all these red flags and I should have paid attention. Um, he threw a bunch of red flags and like that I was just red flags since they knew me and stuff. Like all the way up till this date, which was right near where they write all this nasty stuff about me, timing wise, there, Corinne is writing, I need to share something really delicate and important. They went through something very difficult. And if I was such this red flag person and this um, bad guy taking up all their oxygen, making everything about me and stuff, like as if I'm that kind of person, um, like Corinne says, "Can I share something really difficult?" And this point of this is not to get into that thing, but they're trusting me that I'm going to be a good listener, that I'm not going to make it about me, that I'm going to be supportive. And so they go on to say that and like I'm here, I'm not alone, available for phone calls. Um, this was a whole day of whatever. This is where they say, are you coming up? Are you coming to Flagstaff? Yeah, here's when. I'm supporting them and they heart react. They send me a heart here. Um, this is talking about going to Flagstaff. Um, this is where and okay, so then I'm at Flagstaff here, and then I leave on that Sunday, and then the next week was the um the fire conclave thing uh that we had that they talk about here. Oh no, this was ranger training. Okay. Yeah, so here's another lie. Corinne wrote that um or they said on Twitch that I joined ranger training just so I could essentially stalk this certain woman, which is completely false, completely not true. And this is where I talk about that. And this is where, uh, yeah, I want to ranger. Um, you know, I asked them like, hey, if you need, to know I rangered in the past, you can talk to people they know in Detroit if you need to. Um, I didn't know ranger training was on Zoom. Um, but here's where I say, yes, I want to do ranger training. I mean, I've rangered before, and it's a good thing to do at um, regional Burning Man events. So That's that. So there's still the Instagram and the text and the regular text and the emails. Um, Corinne initiated contact with me a lot more, sent all these heart reacts and all these emojis and stuff. Um, way more initiating contact by Corinne. So that's why we know this is a lie, and this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, and this is a lie. Um, Lastly, um, okay, so says Corinne writes here in the big lie that I've never gotten an apology for that they invited me to Flagstaff. At Flagstaff, now, if you read this in chronological order, it says, I invited him to hike with me while house sitting in Flagstaff. He threw a bunch of red flags and even left a creepy note goodbye. Acted like a psychopath here. Borderline dangerous. Well, if I threw a bunch of red flags and was creepy and a psychopath in Flagstaff, watch, this is everything. This is a bunch of stuff Corinne wrote to me um, while after Flagstaff. So I just showed you all these smiley faces, emojis, hearts, good morning, how are you doing, how's your day, how's your night, all this stuff from a huge chunk of our friendship. And these are all messages from after Flagstaff. I believe these are in chronological order. Um, this is the point of this is that Corinne is trying to tell people that I'm like a psychopath, I'm borderline dangerous, that I threw all these red flags, that I'm so creepy. All these interactions were so creepy. And that they had told me, that Corinne had told me that, like, they didn't want to be friends with me. That's on the Twitch, where they tell everybody that yeah, I told this guy I don't want to be friends with me, and he better, and then it's like riles up their friends. Yeah, this guy better stay away from you. Like, this is how Corinne texts and messages someone who they claim they expressed they didn't want to be friends, that threw them all these red flags, that took up a lot of their energy and oxygen, that was constantly demanding their time, that was so creepy and weird. This is how Corinne texted me after the weekend at Flagstaff. Hiya, meeting with the shins. That's the fire spinning stuff. Smiley face. Heya, just wrapped up our meeting and rehearsal. Smiley face. Did you get your stuff back? This was like my stuff was stolen. They're they're acting supportive to my problem here where my belongings were stolen. Any progress with getting your bins back? Did you request them by a certain time? I've blocked this out because the person involved in that is not important to this, but somebody stole some of my belongings. And as you can see from the last hour, like, we had a really good relationship where we were really supporting each other, so Corinne knew a lot of the details. Um, but smiley face is after Flagstaff. Smiley face, the exclamation point, smiley face, being supportive. You're good people. That means you're a good person. You don't deserve to have your shit stolen. You're a good person. Oh, what happened to acted like a psychopath and you're borderline dangerous and uh, have all these red flags? No, Corinne wrote, and like if I haven't been clear enough already, I have the timestamps and everything for all of this. I couldn't be showing this if it wasn't, true. You're good. You're a good person. Sending me a hug. This is all, I believe these are in chronological order. Um, uh, what was this? Anyways, heck yes. Cool, smiley face. What kind? Oh, this is when I ordered the rope dart. I ordered a product from Fire Mecca. Um, cool. What kind? What did you order? Okay. Thank you for responding to my personal drama. That was about the woman that stole my property. And as you can see from the entire last hour, we did support each other in things that happened in our lives. And so it was perfectly normal for us to like share things we are going through and we were being supportive to each other. Thank you for responding to my personal drama because they this was when I told them, yeah, this woman's really not giving my stuff back. They're really deciding to be a thief. And I was like, I felt violated. And Corinne was supportive, like, hey, that sucks that that happened and whatever. Anyways, have a relaxing evening, smiley face. Um, this was the post above this was just me. I mean, I've never had anyone purposefully steal stuff from me. And then when I asked for it back, they straight up just said, no, I'm not giving you your stuff back. I like didn't, it was jarring to me that someone would consciously do that. Like, it was pretty hard to process because, like, I trusted this person and then they did this and I was like, holy shit, like someone can just do that? Like it was so out of like any normal way of treating other people that it was fucking hard. So um so I said thanks for reading, appreciate you, which was, I appreciate the support. I appreciate like I talked to other friends. I like, I needed people to talk to, which is if you've ever been through anything that was difficult for you, you know that you need to have people that listen and they can't solve your problem. I don't need to explain that to you. Like, it's totally normal. So, just thanks for reading. Appreciate you. I was I was very unhappy. This all after Flagstaff, where apparently I threw all these red flags. Like, I'm sorry, if someone steals your property and they know about it and you text them and and you're like, please, can I have my stuff back? And they text back and they're like, no, I'm keeping it. Um, like it's it's a very normal response to be upset about that. Um, so anyways, this all happened after Flagstaff and Corinne's like, I appreciate you too. I'm sorry you're going through that. Then something about the fire dancing stuff. Wish me luck. Okay, smiley face. Here's a initiating contact. Good morning. This and then this was about fire mecha stuff for videos, which I've covered. This is like, I mean, I just covered this whole months of relationship, we talked about business a lot. We talked about business right off the get-go. This was really normal. Now, the whole like good morning text thing, um, whatever, but um, somebody else, affiliate, is Corinne saying is going to pick my brain about videos for Fire Mecca. No, like indication, hey, I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to work with you. Um, you're, you know, please leave me alone. Nothing like that. These are in chronological order. Sometime after that, the reason Corinne writes eating a mouthful is because something where they contacted me and then I said, hey, like, can we talk on the phone? Like, I didn't want to text for whatever reason. I was probably doing something, cooking, who knows? Doesn't matter. But because I blocked the stuff on these out, this was, I can't really text right now, but can we talk on the phone? And Corinne could not talk on the phone. That's why they said, I'm eating and my mouth is full. Um, Indicating that they could not talk on the phone, but they could text. And they say, free today. I say, I'm extremely busy, but I can pick up the rope dart if there is a window that works. I did realize from the website, because this is where I did local pickup, maybe I should show those emails now. Uh, there's emails about when we coordinated the local pickup, which is when I went to their house, which is when they're like, he shows up at my house, and my mentor was with me, but which Corinne knew about, but he shows up at my house. I told him it's a Sunday. Oh my God. I told him when he called and put me on speaker that it was my day off, but if he wanted to drop by as a friend, he could. I warned him my other friend was over, and we were making props, and I was not pretty for company. He never mentioned the strange man he was bringing into my home. Well, your employee let me in the home, and Corinne said there's a video of me coming into the home that day, which Corinne's never released. Um, Maybe there is a video, but the video will show Corinne's employee opening the door and welcoming us in. And then I got the prop, and then I was like, hey, this is my mentor from out of town, and that Corinne knew about. I have the text messages where I explained to Corinne I have a mentor. He's been so important in my life. And Corinne's like, that's awesome. Having a mentor is a good idea. Well, this is what Corinne wrote to 60,000 people, that like as as if I didn't have some reason to come there, that I could drop by as a friend. Uh, your employee let us in, and then the video will show when we showed up. You didn't say, "Hey, here's your package," and like, "Oh, we'll see you later." Like, I said, hey, here's my mentor. Let me introduce you. And then I know Corinne is super proud of their business and like is proud of it. And I was like, do you want to show him the shop? And Corinne was like, yeah, sure. Like that's what the video will show. The video won't show Corinne being like, hey, please don't come in and something like it's a very friendly interaction. I mean, I've shown so much. There's no indication um, of any issue. Well, anyways, so this was talking about picking it up. When you order from local pickup, it says local pickup is only Monday through Friday from like 9 to 5 p.m. And that's where I was saying, are you Corinne says, "Are you free today?" I said, "I'm extremely busy, but I can pick up the rote dart if there's a window that works." I did realize it was only Monday through Friday. That was for the pickup. Corinne says, "I have time tomorrow and Sunday." Oh, what happened to it's Sunday? It's my day off. Oh, I have time tomorrow and Sunday. Corinne writes, "I responded to your email that you're different." This was after Flagstaff. "You're different," meaning I could pick up on Saturday or Sunday outside of the normal hours because we're friends and you already hang out at my house. Smiley face. You notice a different vibe from all this? From when you read this? I warned him. Shows up at my house. It was my day off. Came into my home. Like, we're such good friends. Like, you think I just roll? Like, even if I showed up with another person, no, Corinne's information on the type of person am, you think I like roll, like hang out, associate with on purpose, like bad people? Like, if you have a very good friendship, like the one that I've displayed here, where we're very close, very, very, very close, and then that person, you see them, they come at you see them with with another person that you've never met before. Do you go to, "Oh my God, my really close friend, their friend might be a bad, bad person"? No. If you have a very close friend, as I've displayed here, when you see them with someone that you've never seen before, you should be associating like, okay, I know all this stuff about Dan. I trust him a lot. We're very, very close. He's been to my house a bunch of times. I've been to his house. Um, I invited him alone to a house sitting overnight in Flagstaff. Um, that is how close we are. I tell him very intimate stuff about difficult things I'm going through, and he's very supportive. Um, and then you think some person he's shopping with is just a stranger among strangers, could be this, like, as dangerous a person as could possibly walk the earth. That's not what happened, and that's not what normal people do. So I show up with my friend who's 70, and Corinne, like, is just, he showed up with this strange man, like some dangerous stranger. Like, you understand how this is really twisting how things really are? I understand that Corinne had never met my mentor before, but to do this, like, stranger danger thing when, I mean, I guess I can't put it any other way. If me and you are really, really close friends and we've been friends for almost a year and we've had these experiences and we like very trustworthy and stuff, and then you come to something and you're with another person that I've never met, I'm not immediately jumping to um they're this total dangerous stranger. I'm saying, okay, well, my good friend hangs out with them, so they're probably like somewhere in the realm of like decent. Like, am I crazy? Um, it's fair that, and the emails were already covered in another video, but I'll do that again. Corrine sent me an email basically saying, hey, I didn't like that you showed up with your friend and you didn't tell me they were coming. Now, uh, I apologized and I said to Corrine in that email, hey, I totally understand why that would have made you feel uncomfortable. And I said, I'm really sorry that I didn't think of that beforehand, that that could have made you feel uncomfortable. And I even said, I don't know why, like, I didn't think to tell you, and that would have been the right thing to do. So I'm very sorry, and it won't happen again. Um, like, that's what I wrote. And like, uh, I mean, I don't know what else to say than like, I guess you can decide if someone made a mistake. Like, everybody's fine, everybody's okay. Like, right? Nobody got like physically hurt or something. Um, if if you everyone, it's up to everybody. If your friend makes a mistake, like showing up to an invited thing with a person they didn't tell you about beforehand. Um, and if you think that is a reason to end the friendship, like that is a deal breaker, then that is totally fine and up to you. It's not a reason to go on the internet and spread lies and then scare people into thinking your life is in danger and they might need to bring guns around. But if somebody, if that was a big problem and I told someone in an email, look, you did this thing and I didn't like it and it made me feel uncomfortable. And they wrote back like, I'm sorry, that's your fucking problem. Like, maybe that would be a reason to end the friendship. But I said, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. Like, I get why that in the future, I promise to like always let you know that kind of thing beforehand. Like, um, I understand that that was a mistake to show up for the pickup with someone that they didn't know. Um, like, I get that. But that's not a reason to go on a 60,000 person Facebook group and write all of this. Um, now, when you write, so Corinne's just the point of this is Corinne wrote here that I'm just this through all these red flags in Flagstaff and left a creepy note. These are the messages Corinne sent me after Flagstaff. Smiley face, have a relaxing weekend. You're different because we're friends and you already hang out at my house, smiley face. Think this is not the last one, but this is after Flagstaff, when I suppose these are in chronological order, after Flagstaff, when I supposedly threw all these red flags and acted like a psychopath, it's never happened. Corinne, here's an Instagram chat. This is after Flagstaff. Like some funny meme. I'm in my Death Calf era. I actually don't know what that is. With a heart. then writes this other thing that was like a joke about being single with a heart. I didn't react to any of this stuff. Um, Here's a good morning. Good morning. Life is a game. Smiley face. I mean, it's not an insult. It's a joke about the cat, like being Harry Potter. Funny with the smiley faces after Flagstaff. We can get you hot pants from Rave Circus. Smiley face. Here's where I said, so I was at this point, still perfectly normal, uh, perfectly no indication there's any issue with our friendship after Flagstaff. I had been thinking about more ways to support Fire Mecca and support the business. And I've seen businesses do giveaways as like a really good way to um, boost like followers, like get more Instagram followers and get more like I think giveaways are just a really, really good business strategy. It's like you can spend money on ads and hope you get more sales, but you have to spend money. So let's say you spend like $500 on ads to increase sales. But there's other ways to spend money. And I had been thinking, um, because I've seen this, especially in the fitness industry, where you do giveaways. You say, like, if you buy one thing, we'll give you a whole nother one for free. That's really good way to build like customer loyalty. And I was like, what if Fire Mecca, like, what if they just did a straight up giveaway event? Um, And I had been thinking, and so I made this proposal. Hey, I would like to sponsor, oops, I had a typo, I giveaway. I would like to sponsor a giveaway for your business. If that would help you. Once again, I'm not saying you have to do this or I'm telling you you have to. If if that would help you. I'd like to remain anonymous, but if a giveaway campaign would boost your business, I would buy the prop for it. Would that be helpful? Question mark. So I had been brainstorming, yeah, basically like what if Fire Mecca just did like a straight like staff giveaway, like, or one of those things where like if you comment and subscribe, like one of our new subscribers will get a giveaway, or if you comment hashtag Fire Mecca, like you'll get in the running for a prop giveaway. Like I know that's not an easy decision for small businesses to make, and I don't know. I went out on a limb and I said I'm willing to do this. I think it was important to say I would do it anonymously because once again, it was not about me. It wasn't like Dan's doing this giveaway, like he's so cool or something. Like I wouldn't want anybody to know that I had proposed this. Um, but um, anyways, we had tons of conversations about um business. This wasn't out of left field. It was a new idea, and that I thought, man, that would be really cool to see. And like, I know about analytics, so you can kind of see if you did that giveaway campaign, you'd be able to see like how many new like Fire Mecca like followers or even just like views it got. Like, if we did a giveaway and that giveaway, Facebook Reel or Instagram Reel had like 8 times the normal views, like that might be a good thing. So, anyways, hey Daniel, Corinne says, hey Daniel, smiley face, let's chat about it tomorrow at the jam. Will you be there? I said, I I don't think I can go to the jam, unfortunately. Is that the one downtown? I think that was the Wednesday one that I never went to. Yeah, that must have been because I only went to the Sunday one. I never went to the Wednesday one. But like even this, smiley face. That's like there's no indication that I had done all this bad stuff. Um, this was from a Facebook message. We were talking about business stuff, and the point of this, the point of showing this is like we we basically never had a frustrating miscommunication over text. I don't think ever. Where like we're like, what did you mean by that? And not the majority of the time, but we shared a lot of jokes and funny memes back and forth. And I would say that we both had a similar sense of humor that like never got misinterpreted. And I don't know about you, but when you find when you make a friend that has a similar sense of humor as you, um, it's great. It's nice. So like this text was something like um it was something about some fire Mecca thing, probably to do with affiliate videos, and it was something like that. And then I ended it with like a kind of um like sarcastic joke that I knew Corinne would like pick up on. We joked like that kind of with that kind of dry humor sort of thing a lot. And so like I was like, yeah, let's, work on this or I'm going to work on this, whatever it was. And this was after Flagstaff, after all this stuff, uh, near the very, very end of, when like no indication that I was some bad person or something, Corinne kind of cheeky back, are you working on that or arguing with me? This uh, laughy tongue face. Like this was totally made sense and to me and was a funny way to make talking about business stuff um, fun and joyful. Um, and these were, I think this wasn't every message because there were some emails, but this was most of the non-email messages that occurred after the weekend in Flagstaff. And yeah, you're good. You're a good person. Hugs, smiley face. Have a relaxing evening. Smiley face. I appreciate you. Good morning. I want to pick your brain about videos. We're friends. Smiley face. You already hang out with at my house. You're different. Um, heart, heart, good morning, smiley face, let's chat at the jam, smiley face, um, laughy face. So this is what is actually like the conversations with Corinne from basically the start of our um, friendship to um, to the whole thing. And if I need to, I mean, I'll do the same thing on all the Instagram. So that was the big one that I went over was all the Facebook messages. Um, but I can do all the text messages and I can do all the Instagram messages next. Um, Once you see that, and then in context of saying I threw a bunch, Dan threw a bunch of red flags. He's creepy. He's like a psychopath, just wants to show up at my home. He's dangerous. Um, I asked for an apology. Of course, Corinne doesn't say, yeah, he wrote me like a very thorough apology for showing up, at my home. Like I did write an apology, making up lies about how I was yelling, making up lies that I had uh, that I had restraining orders. You better take this down. You take this down because I know about your various restraining orders, which are not true at all. And then my friend says, hey, that's kind of concerning. Can you share any evidence of the restraining orders? No, fuck off. I don't owe you any evidence, Corinne writes. Um, you know, you should take this down. Um, you know, but I welcome anyone to question my character and dig into who I am. Well, we just did some of that, and maybe we did a third of that, and there's two-thirds to go. Um, so dig into my character. I welcome anyone to dig into my character, question my character, and dig into who I am. I'm an open book. This post comes down, or I post a link to it on the post in the group. I don't play games. I hope that all these messages show you that, how these are lies. He spent a lot of his time initiating contact and asking for time. Like, Corinne invited me to like two dinner parties, invited me to Flagstaff, invited me to like all these things. Those are asking for time. I gave Corinne free time working on some of their business stuff and free advice, which every time they said, hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I had to remind him of my boundaries constantly. Never once. The only thing was when I showed up for that order with my mentor, who's 70 years old, and I didn't let Corinne know ahead of time. And Corinne didn't like that. And I understand why. And Corinne told me, hey, that was the only time Corinne said, hey, that wasn't cool. And I immediately responded and said, I'm so sorry, and I understand why that wasn't cool for you, and that won't happen again. That is not needing to remind him of my boundaries constantly. Like we were friends for basically an entire year before that happened. This is a lie. I did, I mean, I did tell people that we were close friends. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, this is written as to make it sound as if we weren't close friends. Because look, Corinne's like, Dan, Dan lied, and um, I'm sorry you were tricked by him. There's another post. I'm sorry I fell for Daniel's lies. I feel like his lies are an indication of further nefarious activity. Like, telling people that we were close friends, telling people how close we were. That's not a lie. Like, just look at all this. Like, we were close friends. Like, that's the actual truth. If I'm close friends with someone, there's nothing wrong with saying that we're close friends, unless you're like embarrassed that you're friends with someone and uh like you don't know how to say, hey, I don't want to be friends with you. There's one other thing um, I can go over. Corinne wrote that, let's see, I just found this so ironic. Um, I don't know if I can find it. Maybe I'll just paraphrase, although it's not what I really want to do here. Um, well, Corinne put on like a bunch of their social media and like even introduced themselves as a ranger, as a Black Rock Ranger. And rangers are supposed to have a bunch of mediation training, like peer mediation and like conflict resolution training. Okay. Corinne actually wrote to me about that, but a not they supposedly took a they had to take a de-escalation training at their job that they told me about. Um, which fuck, I think it's higher up, which is just so ironic because how Corinne acted in this, going right to with like the gun stuff, is, I mean, it's the
Yeah.
opposite of de-escalation. What's the dang? I can't do a search on this, but I'll find it. I don't care. I'll find it. Yeah, it had to be further down. I mean, it was the thing that I skipped. I was like, I don't know if I need to talk about that, but it's probably fine. But basically, Corinne told me that they, on a particular day, one of these, Corinne said, "Oh, how's your day?" Oh, here it is, right here. Um, oh, you're so talented. How's your day? Um, they say, "I'm so sleepy after training all day." I said, "Training question mark?" And it was de-escalation training at their job, which is just insane. Like, you got to take the training again. I mean, all you have to do is watch this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying
This
too.
is
The weird
not
needs
this is not de-escalation.
to trend away really quickly because
This is the exact opposite of de-escalation.
I have a lot of friends that love me and they're not happy right now. And I have a lot of people checking in and like asking if I'm staying, like where I'm staying, where I'm going to go hide. I had somebody offer to buy me a car so that I'm not seen in mine because it's so noticeable. Like his post has my friends super freaked out. I'm trying to keep calm about it, but it's not easy to keep calm about something like that. Um,
Spent a lot of his time initiating contact, asking for my time. I had to remind him of my boundaries constantly. I'm sorry you were tricked by him. Like, no, Corinne, anyone who has listened to you about all of this BS and believes you is being tricked by you. Um, Corinne wants me to take down my defense of myself from this bullshit. I think he stole my friend's cat. A woman went missing. Like, it's right up here. Corinne talks about,
I like nice, freshy, clean things too. So I don't
I
blame
don't have
her.
the sound, so watch this video. Corinne talks about how they're very sure that a woman that they knew I was talking to, because you just saw how close, like, part of this video is people don't understand, like, how did this like randomly happen? Like, how do you even know this person? Like, make it small again. Like, this is how I know this person. This is only the Facebook messages. We haven't even gone through the Instagram messages and the regular text messages yet. This is how I know them. That's why they knew this woman that I did want to date, and that woman said no, and that was fine. And then that woman stole my property. And then, like, Corinne didn't even know them at that time, just knew them by a woman I wanted to date. Like, they say in all this, they weren't friends with them on Facebook. They sent them a message on Facebook, which goes into spam. And then, um, you know, like, for a lot of people, Facebook is dead. Like, some people use it. Quite a few people have just kind of abandoned it. And when Corinne didn't get a response in 24, 48 hours, they jumped to, oh my gosh, I think he might have hurt that woman. Um, that's that's what Corinne wrote in in the original, which is on the other one. I'm not going to open right now, but it's covered in the other videos. Well, Corinne even talks about that here. Says, yeah, that woman went missing. I didn't hear back from them, but I really believe that, you know, he, you know, this woman went missing and Dan has something to do with it. And Corinne says, well, I'm not going to give my evidence for it because she goes, if I give the evidence, then Dan will kill me, even if it like helps the woman. And so I'm screwed either way. I'm not making this up. Listen to this. Well, watch this whole thing. I'd have to guess where it is. I
It's
think it's right
expensive enough
here,
that I would want it to look perfect also. And
but I can't
me
hear it
personally,
through
I
my
wouldn't actually
headphones on
recommend
this
it.
mode.
Cool, let's go set it on fire. Who wants to go outside? No. But you know, that whole fresh virgin prop thing doesn't really do anything. Yeah. But somebody has their first prop or whatever. First prop ever. Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna write a note. Notice.
So I'll stop this here. And, well, you know, like I said at the beginning, open to an apology for all this BS that was posted in a 60,000 person Facebook group. Open to an apology for, uh, telling people that I have restraining orders, which is not true. Um, I have the. I'll show this one. This is fine to show. I mean, look at this. This craziness. Absolutely. Um, Let me show this one. Oh, I mean, I already covered the doxing. Yeah, I mean, no apology for this. Acting creepy, showed up at my house without warning. I'm actually worried about someone. Like telling people I know this. Um, Please go away if you aren't helping me. Um, People corroborated he has restraining orders. This is false. I would like an apology for spreading lies like this. People corroborated he has restraining orders. We've never seen those. And when my friend asked, was there any evidence of these, Corrine writes, kindly fuck off. See, I would appreciate 1 ounce of concrete evidence that support literally any of the accusations you've made. If you aren't helping me, kindly fuck off. Nice. I'd like an apology for spreading rumors I have restraining orders, telling people I was screaming at people, and most of all, posting my profile picture and all these lies in the 60,000 person Facebook group. But I mean, I'll just keep going. I don't know why, like, someone, when they're caught, like, Corinne never intended this to be leaked. Um, and wanted it to be this, like, underground thing where they could talk about me behind my back without me knowing. And then I could just be walking around town with, like, all these rumors that I don't even know about. And once, like, if that isn't bad enough for people who, want to support, like, a business whose owner does this kind of thing, I mean, the redemption is really in apologizing. When you apologize and you admit your mistake and you say, I'm sorry to the person that you hurt, and you say, I'm sorry for what you actually did. Like, I'll show you, if I have this up, and pull this one up too. Show you the quote unquote apology. I mean, yeah, apologies for sharing my address, apologies for telling people that I had issues with stalking, which is not true, telling people I had restraining orders issued against me, which is not true, telling people I had restraining orders in Michigan, not true. I'd like an apology for that. This is what a non apology looks like. I'm sorry for anyone. Corinne writes, see this little world thing in the upper left? That means it's a public post. Corinne writes, I'm sorry for anyone hurt, embarrassed, or angered by my private stream, which was a public Twitch stream because it was private, only, the private people could see it. Um, or angered by my private stream that was recorded and shared without my consent. Um, so, like, this is um, this is one of those blanket apologies. Like if someone says, "Hey, you hurt," if someone says, "Hey, you hurt me when you did this," you don't say, "Okay, in order to apologize, I'm going to say, okay, I'm sorry for anyone that got hurt when I did uh, a thing that I didn't really do." Like when, imagine if I hurt you and you said, "Hey, you hurt me. I'd like an apology." And I said, "I'm sorry for anyone that I may have hurt." Like, "I'm sorry for anyone that I hurt when I did a thing, the thing." Like, it's not an apology. You have to say, "I'm sorry for hurting you." I mean, it's just look up apologies 101. Like, you can do that right now. Apologies for dummies. Take ownership for what you did without making excuses. Explain what you did and why it was bad. Let the other person know what you did and regret what you did. I mean, you can fucking use Chat GPT to figure it out. Like, it's not some say what you're apologizing for and be specific. Show you understand why it was bad. Like, this is stuff you usually have to teach like little kids. It's really helpful to use the person's name when you apologize. Look at this, apology generator for dummies. I mean, like, here's ones that aren't apologies. Hey, well, I'm sorry then. I'm sorry you feel that way. Both are not apologies. I mean, some people just, it's like they don't have it in their bones. Like they can't admit when they did something wrong. Oh, here you go. Get a woman's touch. Talk to a woman to know how to make an apology, maybe. Like, get some help from one of your friends. Get a whole book about it. Say you're sorry in a direct, clear, non defensive manner. If you have trouble apologizing, see a psychologist. Look at your mistakes. I mean, this says if you master the art of an apology, you can have a happy life. I wonder what it means if you don't master the art of apology. Who knows? Main thing is to be specific and like if you make like if you're like, well, I'm sorry to anyone, to anything I ever did. I mean, that's just imagine if somebody wronged you and that was the apology that you got. It's like it's 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 a narcissist like non-apology. So